Good morning, everyone. My name's Glenn. I'm the Geezers of the Day. What we're doing today is we're going to make a pit for my new garage drain. So in Wyoming, we don't have to run into sewer. We don't have community service sewer. We just have infiltrators and a tank. And that's on the back of the house. Up here in the front, I want to put a drain in the middle of my garage out here. My new garage is going to be 30 by 30. So what I'm doing is I'm just setting up so that the pit is outside the foundation. Then I'll run pipe from it to my new pit. So what I've done is I've ordered 4 to 6 inch rock. It's going to be delivered today. So what I did was just, we're not putting in the forms yet. So this doesn't have to be exact. I just want to get it close so I can put my sewer pipe down in the gravel before I bury it. So what I've done is this pink mark in that little rod is exactly 30 foot from that corner down there. And I used the 3-4-5 rule, except I doubled it. So 6 foot up, right there, you can see it on the tape measure, 6 foot. That is 8 foot. So you got 3 doubled, 6. Over there should be 4, which is 8. And there's a little mark on the ground where I have that tape measure setting. And then it comes down to double a 5 is 10. So that's pretty darn close to what I need. So now I know that at the 15 foot mark, 14, 15 right here is the center of my garage. So I'm going to dig a line from there out here, and then I'm going to dig the pit right here where I'm standing. And I only ordered 4 yards of this big rock. So that should be about 5 by 4 by 5 approximately. And then I'll put weed block. I use that so the sand doesn't wash back into it. So I'll line the whole thing with weed block. I'll put the big rubble in it. Well, I'll put the pipe in, put the rubble in it, and then I'll bury it with this same dirt on top with the pipe sticking out so that when I get ready to do my garage, I can just dig it right over. I might dig it over now, put the Y in where it goes in here. Then I want to stubby up because I'll put an electrical plug in the garage right here as well so that I can plug a heat trace in that goes down that 5 foot deep so it doesn't freeze in the winter. We get frost about 8 foot here in the wintertime, so I'll just run a single heat trace down. I'll put a rock on it and pull it so it drags it to the bottom of that, so it keeps that thawed out for most of the year. I'll probably still have a little freeze in a month or so, but it'll be all right. So that's my setup. Now I'm going to go start figuring out where I need to dig everything. So I'm going to use a little paint because it doesn't have to be exact. It's just got to be really close. So I'll hang you guys up over here, and then I'm going to get busy. All right. I need to make a couple measurements. .5 foot. So I'll make a 4 foot there. 8 foot. That'll be the edge of my pit. And that will be the edge of my pit. And I'll want it 5 foot across. Yeah. Make that 4. There. So that's approximately my pit size. Not real big, but don't need real big. We live in a sand and gravel pit, literally. The deeper you dig, the bigger the rocks. So it's like sand and gravel all the time. So I have real good drainage. Even when it rains really hard, I don't get puddles out here because it drains as fast as it rains. So now what I'm going to do is measure my 15 foot, because the garage is 30 by 30. So I want this 15 foot out here. That's approximately 15 foot. And I want to go 15 foot from my current garage. So one thing I just forgot to add in there was the house has a 2 foot bump out. But the garage is going to be 30 foot from right here where the garage is. So I got to put that into account, which I did not. Okay, so this is going to be the center where I have my drain inside my cement floor. So that'll be the center. What I need to do is take this down to, let's make sure this is a 2 foot, exactly 2 foot. So this should only be 13 foot, not 15 foot. Which is already measured for me. 13 foot, which is right there. Well, lines up with the other one. So this one's no good. Good thing about dirt and paint, I just corrected my lines. And it don't matter where my pit is, as long as I get the 3-inch pipe the 5 foot down, it'll be just fine and dandy. So I'm still going to dig the same way. Like I said, the gravel will be here later today. And if I can get this dug and lined, we can put that gravel right in. And I need to go up and see if I have 3-inch pipe. I used to have some 3-inch PVC, so I gotta run up there and see if there is any before I do anything. If not, I gotta buy some today. See, I've already got the gas line marked. You can see it goes out through there. The water, the power, and the telephone's all out there by the purple markers out by my culvert. So the only thing I gotta worry about is the gas line. I'm a long ways from that. So let's go see if I have some 3-inch. Looks like I have quite a bit of 4-inch. Uh-oh. I might make this thing out of 4-inch. Overkill, but nope, all I got's 4-inch. So I'll be making it out of this 4-inch. It's okay, I have plenty. Alright, we're going to do some of that dreaded math. We know that my garage pad will be level on all 4 sides, but it's going to slope to the center. So a normal drain is 1/8 inch per foot. So get my marker out. So it's going to be 15 foot to the center. You got 1/8 inch times 15. That'd be 15/8, which is 1 inch. and 7/8 of an inch. So I just take 8 divided into 15 is 1 7/8. So by doing that, what I'll do is I'll take a reading from this garage floor right here with a laser level, and I'll go out to that 15-foot mark, and I'll want it 1 7/8. That's minimum. If I go 2, that'd probably be okay too. It's only 1/8 inch more. So once I find that spot, that'll be the center of this garage, like this. This center will be 1 7/8 inch less. Now from that point, I want a 5.5 inch, 6 inch slab. So that will be, we'll just go 6. It'll be 7 7/8 from this garage floor right here. That'll give me the bottom of the cement, but I want to go down another foot. Well, not a foot. We're going to go down another 6 inches at least. Now let's go 8 inches. Let's go 8 inches. So that would end up being 15 and 7/8 inches lower than this shop floor. And the reason I did that was I need 1 inch and 7/8 for slope. I needed 6 inches for cement. And I want to be underneath that cement so I have a box. So I added another 8 inches for the box. So you add all that up and it ends up 15 and 7/8 inch from this floor. That's where I want the top of the pipe, drain pipe. And the drain pipe's 4 inches, so I want to go, I'll just round it to 20 inches below this cement, and then I'll continue the same. So drain pipe runs around an 1/8 inch as well, so it'll start at 20 inches below this surface, and however long it is, I'll keep that consistent 1/8 inch drop, and then into my pit, and then I'll dig the pit deeper. So that's the math. Let me set up my laser level and we'll get started on that. Alright, got my laser level set up, and for my garage drawings, I know I need to be, where is it? Whoop, over here. I need to be 20 inches at the bottom from this cement right here. So this should be exact. So 20 inches lower. Oof, that's getting annoying. It's 20 inches lower. That's 3'5" and almost 1/4. So this is the center right here. Let's just raise this till it beeps. Beeps faster than I can tighten it. Okay, it's right there. Okay. Ends up being 8. So we're 3 inch drop. Wow. I dropped some more than I thought it did. I thought this was pretty level, but obviously not. So 8. 3'8". The bottom of my pipe has to be at 20 inches. So I have to go, because it's 3 inches right now, so I got to dig down 17 inches plus the 4. So I gotta, that ditch has to be, you know what I'll do is I'll just dig it with this laser level and then I can check the bottom. Alright, I'm back. I went and got some fittings for the 4 inch. Unfortunately I already started digging. I forgot to film that a little bit, but let's go ahead and do that now. So what I got to do is, got to be 24 inches down there from that cement over there. So I'm going to check the depth, make sure I'm going the right depth, and then I'll just dig out from there. So turn the power on. Sitting in the same place it was earlier, so turn the power on this thing. Still sitting right at, I don't know if you can see that green laser or not, but it's still sitting at 3'5" and just a touch. So we set this earlier so that it's the right depth. See if I can get it to turn on first. Not deep enough yet. It's really hard to see that green laser. Let me set you. Oh, there it is. I'm not deep enough. So I gotta go a little deeper. So I'm gonna hook you up on the Kubota, and then I'm gonna dig a little deeper. Let's go see how close that is before I get too deep. Just a hair too low, like less than an inch. So we'll keep moving from there. get in the way, but okay. All right. I think my ditch is probably good enough. One thing I didn't think about was the foundation height, depth, the footer and the foundation. So let's go measure that, see if I'm going to be okay, because this pipe needs to go underneath the footer, which is 4 foot 1 inches from the top of the foundation. So I'm going to try and, okay, I can't get to it in here. I don't know how many you guys set up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the height of that cement right down there. You can see it right there. So the footer wall is 35 inches, and there's 8 inches of footer underneath that. So foot 2. Foot 3, so we'll call it good. Let's just work our way up the trench, going up 1/8 of an inch per foot. See how this puppy looks. Okay. Turned off again. Perfect. Pretty good. That was a little low. That's a little low. Hit it down about there. So we got to kick a little bit in to get the right grade, but that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Then I had the pit down there where all the water will go. So that's it for tonight. See you tomorrow. Alright, good morning. We're back at it. I got that trench done last night. It's kind of close, but I'll worry about the exact pipe heights and all this drain and slope when we put the pipe in the ditch. Today's goal is that got it from the middle of the garage out here, outside the garage. Now I got to dig a hole big enough for all that gravel so I have a place for it to drain. So let's get you set up.
thinking about is this backhoe is going really slow. So what I'm going to do is turn around and start digging with the front bucket. As you can see, I'm struggling in the ditch. I made it too steep and I can't get back out of it with a load of dirt, so I'm actually making it longer so it's not quite so steep. This happens to me several times, as you can see through the video.
Okay, I gotta go get a shovel so I can dig out the trench, put it in the hole where I can get to it. Yeah, there's a little bit in there. So, well, there's the sand layer down here at the bottom I was looking for. Between 5 and 6 foot, we have a sand layer. That's kind of what I want to put the gravel on top of, so it soaks in real good. I gotta go get some scissors so I can cut this stuff. So I'll be back again. There's the end of that thing. Okay, I'm gonna put a little dirt on this. I'm gonna pull it over into the ditch. I'm gonna use up all my small rolls that I've used over time. That's really good size. Okay, that fills the bottom up. Now if I can find my staples for fabric. Got some I'm just pinning it to the wall so it stays up until I get the rock in it. They're just temporary until I get the rock in, then I'm going to envelope it like a burrito. That way the water can go wherever it wants, sand and gravel will stay out. This is just temporary till I get gravel in it. I think I'm ready for my first load of gravel in here. All I want is a little in the bottom, then I'm going to put the drain pipe in. So, let's put a little gravel in here. Now it's time to get the drain pipe in. I just wanted a layer on the bottom. A layer on the bottom will help me if the water doesn't hit this sand just right. That way I can wash this way. So level some rocks down here. And then I gotta put the drain pipe in. Let's get a drain pipe built. Alright, well, I'm back at it. The camera overheated and I had to go set it in the shade for a little while to cool down, but I kept working. So I have that end set. I set the pipe with a level. This is this end, where it's going to drain into these rocks. I drilled holes in that PVC so it can come out and on the bottom. And I lined this all with weed block, like a fabric, so that the sand don't wash back into it. So I guess we'll get back at it, but I'm going to have to put you back here in the shade now. I just don't like the sun. Okay. Right. And of course, why not have stained purple hands? I wasn't thinking when I was gluing down there, and I tipped the can and poured it out right on my hand. Didn't turn out well. Now I'm purple. And now I'm going to bury it. Well, first rocks, and then dirt at this end, kind of keep them together so that fabric doesn't go one way or the other. A little at a time. Okay, let's get this done. Gravel's all in. The rock, I guess. Let's make it a burrito of cloth. And then I'll put the soil back over the top of it. Just cutting it up the middle so I can wrap that pipe. Hard to walk on this gravel, I'll tell you that much. Gotta go a little more on that other side over there. So. Oh, what happened to my knife? I do throw it in the hole? Yeah, I did. Another waste of little cloth, and I'll just fill up with sand in 2 years. my rock burrito is done. Alright. I have completely engulfed my rocks, my gravel, my big rocks in a burrito. I pulled the edges to the center. Then I put 2 layers here across the top. That should keep sand from silting down into that rock. So I'm going to clean up my pins. Put a little dirt on top of my burrito. And then I'll start burying everything back. So now I'm going to go get my compactor. I'll hand shovel that a little bit and start compacting that. And this gravel, there'll never be traffic here. So I'm going to pack this, I'll bring it up 6 inches, compact it again, and we'll go from there. But I got to go find my packer. It's in my shop somewhere. I'll be back. Alright, I finished up. I didn't bore you with the hauling gravel, the dirt back to the back pile. So what I did was I just finished up. This is what it looks like. I just smoothed it up the best I could because we're going to dig this all up for the foundation later this year. So that's the middle of my garage. That's where that drain system is. Drain pipe goes to. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.